How's it going, everyone? I hope you're all doing well, and something I've noticed in my time in the tech community is that the Google Pixel line is often referred to as the iPhone of Android, and while I personally am not crazy on this phrasing for reasons I'm going to explain in a minute, I do think it would be interesting if we tried to answer this question. So the other night, me and a load of unpaid interns, aka my friends, came up with a list of things that make a phone iPhone-like and decided to see how many of these could be applied to the Google Pixel. So let's see what these are. The first thing one of my friends suggested is a tight, stable user experience. And honestly, in my time using the Google Pixel, I can honestly say that this is true. I found the OS to work very well, even on the 4A, which is on the cheaper side. Everything just seemed to make sense on the software side of things. Like iPhones, everything just felt made for the hardware. This also extends into the hardware. For example, again, a tight user experience includes biometric unlocking. The fingerprint scanner on the Google Pixel 4A was probably the best one I've ever tried on the Android side of things. It worked so well. While in the past I have found there to be some very good biometric scanners over on the Android side of things, I've generally found them to be slightly less consistent than they are on the iPhone side of things. However, with the Pixel, this lack of consistency was nowhere to be seen. So yeah, in this regard, I would definitely say the Google Pixel is iPhone-like. Next up, we have the software support. Now, iPhones are known for their legendary software support. I mean, the iPhone 6S is still supported, which I think is like a little bit crazy at this point. And while Pixels aren't quite to that point just yet, I actually read the other day that the Google Pixel 6 is going to be getting a full 5 years of support, which is tremendously better than we usually see over on the Android side of things. Honestly, this is a welcome addition in my opinion. Phones are pretty damn expensive nowadays, even over on the Android side of things, where things seem to be a little bit better in terms of price to performance. Getting better support means that you can keep your phone longer and, in my opinion, makes a phone better value. Again, while this certainly could do with some improvement, it looks like that's coming soon. So again, I would definitely say the Google Pixel qualifies here. After this, we have ecosystem. And while this is widely touted on the Apple side of things, there is certainly some form of ecosystem on the Google side of things as well. Now, this is less so on the hardware side of things like you can get with Apple. Don't get me wrong, there are Google Buds, I think they were called. However, on the software side of things, I would almost say Google's ecosystem is better than Apple's. I mean, you get the Google Docs suite, Gmail, YouTube, all this stuff, and it's all synced with your Google account. Now, we might say that this is more on the Google side of things rather than the Pixel side of things. And while that is true, they all work so well on the Google Pixel. It really is a fantastic addition. And again, while it's not quite as good as Apple, especially over on the hardware side of things, I mean, that has features like AirDrop, a plethora of computers, and several tablets. However, due to the lack of hardware, I personally don't think the Chromebook counts. I wouldn't quite say that this is as strong of an ecosystem as is available on the iPhone side of things. Up next, we have exclusive features. Now, this is a pretty common one over on the iPhone side of things. Often there will be a lot of iPhone exclusive apps like GarageBand, which you can't get over on any other phone. I'm not exactly convinced this is a good thing. In fact, I don't think it is. Now, granted, obviously it's going to run really well because it's only available on the iPhone side of things, but the fact that you have to buy into a hardware system simply to use certain apps, not very good. Because of the more open nature of Android in general, it doesn't have those closed-off features that you can typically only get on iPhone. And again, I personally think that's a good thing. We're not just covering positives here. There are negatives associated with the iPhone experience. And so I want to see how well the Pixel holds up in that regard too. Up next, we have the design. Now, at this point, we're actually going to be focusing on unique design points. Apple will regularly push the boat out with certain design features on their iPhone, such as the newly introduced, well, over a year introduced at this point, ceramic shield technology. And so we're looking for that uniqueness while still maintaining quality over on the Pixel side of things. Honestly, when the system was first released, I would certainly say yes. I think the Pixel 2 design especially stuck in my head as a great example of phone design. However, in more recent years, I really don't think this is the case. And while I think they are all built well, stylish, and nice to feel, there is nothing truly spectacular about the design of the Google Pixel. In fact, some of you might remember when Google actually rolled back the design of the Pixel. They went from having a notch on, I think, the Google Pixel 3 to no notch and a thicker bezel on, I think, the 4 series. That said, I think if you really want to see people pushing design to the next level over on the Android side of things, you really have to look to someone like Samsung or one of those gamer phones that I refuse to use. Following on, I think it would be irresponsible to do a video like this and not talk about the camera. This is a key component of iPhones and has been for a very long time, but is this a case over on the Pixel as well? Yes, it is. The great camera is a key selling point of the Pixel line and has been since the beginning. I personally think that despite only offering one focal length, the Pixel 4a was one of the best single camera systems I've ever tried, especially for the money. That thing is like crazy value for the performance it offers. We already talked about the camera interface earlier on in the video. In fact, I have a full dedicated to iPhone versus Pixel in terms of specifically photography. If you want to check that out, that'll be up there. Lest I forget. I'm gonna forget. I'll remember eventually. But honestly, I think the Google Pixel offers a phenomenal camera and is absolutely iPhone-like in this quality. In fact, in a lot of cases, I actually preferred the photos from the Pixel to the photos from the iPhone. So yeah, that's a thing that happened in that video. Finally, we have excellent integration with third-party software. Again, me and my friends all agreed that this is a uniquely iPhone quality. So does the Pixel match up? Unfortunately, not really. There's only so much that Google can do to optimize this phone, seeing as it does run Android, and as Android developers have to optimize their third-party apps to work on such a wide range of phones. Unfortunately, it would be incredibly impractical to do this specifically for the Pixel as well. Now, what Google could do in the future is have a full team of optimizers who are specifically employed to optimize apps on the Google Play Store to make sure that they run really well on the Pixel side of things. This would be a bit complicated, not to mention costly. Also, it would involve working with a huge range of developers, so this is unfortunately unlikely. Now, this isn't to say that apps don't run well on Google Pixels. In fact, I think most apps run very well. They just don't have that unique bias that iPhones can have, especially with social media apps. Overall, again, while I really don't like the phrasing the iPhone of Android, as I explained in this video, I think that in some areas the Pixel actually does better than the iPhone. That said, it definitely shares a lot of what makes iPhones so nice. So, to answer a complete non-question that people used as a simile in tech reviews, yeah, the Pixel probably does qualify as the iPhone of Android. Alright guys, so that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Let me know, by the way, do you think the Pixel is the iPhone of Android? Feel free to let me know in the comments. I always enjoy reading those. Once again, a huge thank you to everyone who supports the show over on Patreon. If you want to get bonus videos, awesome wallpaper packs every month, and much more, then feel free to check that out. As for now though, as always, thank you for watching. Remember to like the video if you want to see more content like this, then smash that subscribe button. I'm done for now, and I will see you guys in the next one.